So children, we are back again to the story Lost Spring by Ernest Jones. So by now you must have understood that lost spring means lost childhood. We are going to start with a beautiful quotation today. Education is their birthright. So against child labor we must fight. There are many children around us like Sahib, like Mukesh, like Savita in the story. These are story characters, but there are real children, real sufferings going on around us. So we must fight against child labor so that children like these children, they are able to enjoy their childhood and they are able to enjoy education, the joys of being a child, the joys of education. We are now going to start with the second part where we find another story character, Mukesh. In the last part, we have read about the sad and the pathetic life conditions of Sahib, a child and rag picker from Simapuri. Now we are going to go to Firozabad, another town, another place near the outskirts or near the borders of Delhi. Now, the writer comes to Firozabad. I want to drive a car. Mukesh, another child, insists on being his own master. Let me ask you a question. Was Sahib his own master? Sahib, the name means what? The Lord of the universe. Was he the Lord of the universe? Was he the Lord of his own self? No. His freedom was taken away. Who had taken the freedom away? The tea stall owner. Sahib had surrendered his freedom to the tea stall owner in the form of becoming a what? A tea seller. He had become a tea seller and his tea canister or the tea can had been so heavy in the little hands that he forgot the joys of carrying that light plastic garbage bag over his shoulders. He forgot the joys of carrying freedom over his shoulders and he gave his freedom to the tea stall owner. Here we find in Firozabad Mukesh. Mukesh belonged to the families that were engaged in making bangles, but Mukesh insists on becoming his own master. How can we say that Mukesh wants to become his own master? Because he desires to become a motor mechanic. He desires, he dreams, he dares. He dares to become a motor mechanic. Mukesh insists on becoming his own master. I will be a motor mechanic. He announces, "Do you know anything about cars?" I asked. "I will learn to drive a car," he answers, looking straight into my eyes. Now look at his courage, look at his determination. He looks straight into the eyes of the author and he says that even if I don't know how to drive a car, I will learn how to drive a car. His dream looms, his dream appears like a mirage. Mirage means a kind of illusion. His dream appears to be a kind of optical illusion. Optical illusion means the images that are not true. It appears to be a kind of illusion amidst the dust of streets that fill his town, Firozabad, famous for its bangles. Now, Firozabad was famous for its bangles, for making bangles, and so Mukesh dreamt of becoming a car mechanic, and so his dream appears to be like an illusion. How can a child living in the dust of the streets can become a car mechanic? He has to follow his family tradition. And like every other family in Firozabad, his family is also engaged in making bangles. It is the center of India's glass blowing industry, where families, it is the center for it is the center for making bangles, and where families have spent generations working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the land. It seems that this center of India's glass blowing industry means making bangles are made of glass. So here families have spent, here means Firozabad, at the place where Mukesh belonged. That place, families have spent generations, families have spent years and years working around furnaces, welding glass, making bangles for all the women in the world. It seems Mukesh's family is among them. None of them know that it is illegal for children like him to work in glass furnaces with high temperatures. It is very illegal to work in glass furnaces in high temperatures. But none of them know because they do not care to know. They are not educated children. How will they know? If education had reached them, if education was there for them, they would have known that it is illegal. But since education never touched the borders of Firozabad, where Mukesh belonged to, that way the people did not know. That is the reason why people did not know that it is illegal for children like Mukesh to work in the glass factories with high temperatures. Glass factories always have high temperatures. In dingy cells means in dark cells without air and light. There is no ventilation, there is no light. That the law, if enforced, if the law is applied on them, it could get him and all those 20 children out of the hot furnaces where they slog their daylight hours, often losing their brightness of their eyes. Had they known that child labor is illegal, then they would not have been employing their children. And also, if law was enforced on them, nobody knew, nobody complained, they just carried on. So law was never enforced, law was never applied on them. But if it was applied, it could get many children like Mukesh, 20,000 children out of those hot furnaces. They could be free, they could be taken out. Where they slog from the hot furnaces, they could have been taken out. Where they slog their daylight hours, where they they do the hard work. They are very hard working children. Throughout the day, throughout the morning hours, they are working in those dark temperature, in those dark cells, and often they lose their brightness of their eyes because the conditions are not favorable for health and well-being. The conditions of what? The condition of the cells. Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. Mukesh's eyes beam. Mukesh's eyes, they start glowing with happiness as he volunteers. He is willing to take the author home. Where? To his home, where he is proudly rebuilding his home, and he is proudly sharing with the author. We walked down the stinking lanes choked with garbage. The lanes were choked with garbage, past homes that remain hovels with crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows, crowded with families of humans and animals coexisting in primeval state. Now everyone was Mukesh's eyes beam as he volunteers to take me home. Mukesh's home, which he proudly says is being rebuilt. He was really feeling very happy to escort, to take the author to his home. And he was proudly saying that his home is being rebuilt. So he was very happy to take the author to his home because it was being rebuilt, and he wanted to show the author how beautiful his home looked. We walked down, we here is Mukesh and the author, down stinking lanes. Stinking means very smelly lanes, very foul smelling lanes. Stinking means bad smell. Lanes choked with garbage. When garbage chokes something, it starts smelling very badly. Past homes that remained hovels with crumbling walls. The actual homes had become like crumbling walls. Wobbly doors. Doors were all shaking. No windows. Crowded with families of humans and animals. The place was crowded. The homes were crowded. If you could have called them as homes, they were just crumbling walls, wobbly doors, no windows. They used to call these structures together as homes. And these structures were crowded with families of humans and animals. Families of humans and animals coexisted together side by side in a primeval state. Primeval means in those old ages, when we started primary ages, primitive ages, I must say. In the primitive ages, man and animal used to be together. So it was some kind of primitive state, like that kind, and families of animals and humans, they were coexisting together. He stops at the door of one such house, bangs a wobbly iron door with his foot and pushes it open. Okay, and then we entered a half-built shack. In one part of it, shack means house. In one part of it, thatched with dead grass, shack means house or a hut, is a firewood stove over which sits a large vessel of sizzling spinach leaves. There was a firewood stove, and on that stove was a large container of sizzling, means of boiling spinach leaves. On the ground in large aluminum platters, in large aluminum containers, are more chopped vegetables. A frail young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. A frail means a delicate looking young woman is cooking the evening meal for the whole family. Through the eyes filled with smoke, she smiles. She smiles. She welcomes the guest. She is the wife of Mukesh's elder brother. So Mukesh's elder brother's wife was cooking the evening meal, and she smiled at the guest. She welcomed the guest. The author, not much older in years, she has begun to command respect as the Bahu. Child marriage has taken place in this family, and she was also like a child, like Mukesh, like the age of Mukesh, and not much older in years. She has begun to command respect. Everybody was respecting her as the Bahu, the daughter-in-law of the house, already in charge. Even though she was a child, she was already in charge of 3 men, her husband, Mukesh, and their father. Look at the labors, look at the curses of child marriage. Being a child, where the child should have been in education, at this age, she is already in charge of 3 men. Right? Her husband, Mukesh, and their father. Okay, her husband, Mukesh's brother, Mukesh, and their father. When the older man enters, she gently withdraws behind the broken wall and brings her veil closer to her face. Look at the curses. Now we are just going to read. We are going to realize the curses that is there, the stigma, the tradition that is still there, the evil tradition that is still there in the families like Mukesh. As custom demands, daughters-in-law must veil their faces before male elders. In this case, the elder is an impoverished bangle maker. Male elders means the adult male members of the family. In this case, the elder male member is an impoverished, means very poor bangle maker. Despite long years of hard labor, despite means in spite of long years of hard labor, first as a tailor, then as a bangle maker, he has failed to renovate a house. the bangle maker was not able to renovate the house. Renovate means furnish or to improve the house. Send his two sons to school. Send his two sons to school. He was not able to send Mukesh and his elder brother to school. All he has managed to do is teach them what he knows. Why he could not send them to school, my children? He could not send them to school because education was unknown to them. They didn't understand and they still do not understand the importance of education. All he has managed to do is to teach them what he knows, the art of making bangles. It is his karam, his destiny, says Mukesh's grandmother. This line is very important because we are going to understand the meaning of this particular line or this particular saying. It is his karam, his destiny. Who said this? Mukesh's grandmother, who has watched her own husband go blind with the dust from polishing the glass of bangles. This grandmother had seen her own husband going blind, means the person had gone blind with the dust from polishing the bangles, the glass particles had entered the eyes. Years and years the man was polishing the glass bangles. The dust of the glass had entered his eyes. Working in that dark closed cell, means dark closed room, that person has become blind today. Can a God-given lineage be ever broken? Can a God-given tradition, lineage here means tradition, hereditary tradition can ever be broken? We have been born with this tradition. So that has been given to us by God. If God has given to us this kind of tradition, this kind of hereditary, how are we going to break it? Born in the caste of bangle makers, they have seen nothing but bangles in the house, in the yard, in every other house, in every other yard, every street in Firozabad. So they have not seen any pages of any book. They have not seen any letters of any book. They have not seen pens. They have not seen school. They have only seen bangles and bangles everywhere, in the house, in the yard, in every other house, in every street in Firozabad. So that is why the grandmother is saying, how can I break the tradition? How can I break the destiny? Spirals of bangles, sunny gold, paddy green, royal blue, pink, purple, every color born out of the 7 colors of the rainbow, lie in mounds, in unkempt yards. Unkempt means uncared for. Are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men along the narrow lanes of the shanty town. So, at the end of the day, the 7 colors of the rainbow in the form of bangles, they lie everywhere, here and there, and they are piled on 4-wheeled handcarts, pushed by young men for selling along the narrow lanes of the shanty town, of the crowded poor town. And in the dark hutments, hutments means in the dark houses, next to lines of flickering flames, next to the lines of flickering oil lamps, sit boys and girls with their fathers and mothers, welding pieces of colored glass into circles of bangles. See, in the dark houses, in the dark huts, next to the lines, very close to the flickering oil lamps, boys and girls sit with their father. Look at the tragedy now. Their eyes are more adjusted to the dark. To the dark means to the darkness inside their rooms. The children's eyes, the eyes of the children are more comfortable to the darkness inside the room than to the light, than to the day outside the room. That is why they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. Before childhood blossoms, before childhood blooms, they become blind children. Savita, a young girl in a drab pink dress. Savita, another child like Mukesh, like Sahib, in a drab means dull pink dress, sits alongside an elderly woman soldering pieces of glass. As her hands move mechanically like robot, her hands were moving like the tongues of a machine. I wonder if she knows the sanctity the meaning of the bangles she helps make, the sanctity, the purity, the meaning of the bangles that she is making. It symbolizes an Indian woman's suhag. It is the suhag, it is the auspiciousness in marriage. It will dawn on her, it will come to her, this realization of suhag, the auspiciousness of an Indian marriage, the realization of being a married woman. It will come to her suddenly one day when her head is draped with a red veil, her hands dyed red with henna, and red bangles rolled onto her wrists. Onto her wrists, the red bangles will be rolled that day. Then she will become a bride, like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago. She doesn't know, Savita doesn't know the purity, the sanctity of bangles. It will come to her only when she will be married. That time, red bangles will be rolled onto her wrists. She will then become a bride. At this moment, like a robot, she is making bangles and bangles, many bangles every day she is making, and she is happy with that because she doesn't know what is education. She doesn't know how to be happy in any other way, in some other way. Like we children, we all know how to be happy. You people want to be happy in many ways, right? This small child, she doesn't know how to be happy excepting by making bangles. Like the old woman beside her who became one many years ago, she still has bangles on her. Wait, children, this has to scroll up. On her wrist, but no light in her eyes. Just see, the bangles are there. The old woman who was sitting beside Savita, she had bangles on her wrist, but no light in her eyes. There was no light in her eyes. एक वक्त सिर भर खाना भी नहीं खाया. एक वक्त. Now I have to explain in Hindi. Let me continue. I think the line is explained in a voice drained of joy. There was no joy when she said this line. एक वक्त सर भर खाना नहीं खाया. She has not enjoyed even one full meal in her entire lifetime. Who has not enjoyed, children? The old lady. And that's what she has reaped. After working day in and day out, after spending so many years making bangles and bangles and bangles, she has not even enjoyed one full meal in her entire lifetime. Her husband, an old man with a flowing beard, says, I know nothing except bangles. What is food? I do not know food. I only know hunger. All I have done is make a house for the family to live in. And hearing him, one wonders if he has achieved what many have failed in their lifetime. He has a roof over his head. That is the success. Hearing him, the author is wondering if he has achieved what many have failed. Many other families have failed in Firozabad to achieve what he has achieved today. What has he achieved? To make a house for the family to live in. The others might not have achieved this success. What is the success for this old man? He has a roof over his head. The cry of not having money to do anything except carry on the business of making bangles, not even enough to eat, rings in every home. In every family, there is a cry of hunger. That money is not there to do anything except making bangles. The young men echo the lament of their elders, the young men of the present times, of this generation. They echo, they repeat the sadness, the tradition of their elders. Little has moved with time, it seems. There is no change with time. The young generation today is following, the young people are still following the elders. They do not know how to change. They do not know how to break the shackles. They do not know how to come out of this curse of this age-old business of making bangles. Little has moved with time, it seems, in Firozabad. Years of mind-numbing toil have killed all initiative and the ability to dream. Years and years of mind-numbing toil. The pressure had been so huge that the mind has become silent under pressure, and the pressure has killed all initiative and the ability to dream. The pressure of being under poverty has killed all the initiative to dream and all the initiative to do something else. Why not organize yourself into a cooperative? I ask a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious circle of middlemen who trapped their fathers and forefathers. Why don't you organize yourself into a cooperative? The author asked a group of young men who have fallen into the vicious means dangerous circle of middlemen who have trapped their fathers and forefathers. The middlemen have trapped their fathers and forefathers. Even if we get organized, we are the ones who will be hauled up by the police. Why? Because they will be beaten up, they will be dragged to jail for doing something illegal. Why? Because if you are doing something like coming together, forming a cooperative, it is considered illegal. So, by the politicians, and so they will be hauled up, they will be pulled up by the police, beaten and dragged to jail for doing something illegal. What is that something illegal? For forming a group. There is no leader among them. There is no leaders among them. No one who could help them see the things differently. Their fathers are as tired as they are. Both the generations, the old generation and the present generation, both are tired equally. They talk endlessly in a spiral that moves from poverty to apathy to greed and to injustice. It is moving around in a circle and circle and circle without any solution. From poverty to apathy means not understanding hatred. People are not inconsiderate attitude of the people. Nobody is understanding them. Greed, poverty is poor condition to not being understood by the others. Apathy, nobody is paying attention to them. They are attentionless people. To greed, to injustice. So how many things are bothering them? Poverty is bothering them. Your means not attending them. People, the government is not taking care to their problems. So less consideration, no consideration at all of their problems. Greed is there. Greed means greed of the politicians and the injustice that is continuously happening with them. Listening to them, I see two distinct worlds. What does the author see after listening to them? Two distinct worlds. One is of the family. One of the family caught in the web of poverty. The family. One world is the family caught in the web of poverty. Burdened means overloaded with. Overloaded by what? Overloaded with what? Stigma of caste in which they are born. Stigma of caste means the poverty, the condition of their traditional bangle making in which they are born. The other, a vicious circle of sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen and the keepers of law, the bureaucrats and the politicians. So two worlds the author could see. One is the family. The family was forever under the curse of the bangle making tradition, under the curse of the bangle making business. And the other world was the vicious world, a circle of the sahukars, of the middlemen and the politicians and the bureaucrats. Together, they have imposed the baggage on the child that he cannot put down. These two worlds of the sahukars, of the middlemen, of the bureaucrats and politicians and the family people, these two worlds together have put the baggage, the responsibilities on the child that he cannot put down. Before he is aware, he accepts it as naturally as his father. Before he is understanding, before he becomes matured, He is accepting it as naturally as his father. To do anything else would mean to dare. To dare means to have the courage, and having the courage is not a part of his growing up. When I see a sense of flash of it in Mukesh, I am cheered. The author is feeling hopeful. When she is seeing a flash of it in Mukesh, I want to be a motor mechanic. He repeats, he will go to garage and learn. But the garage is a long way from his home. I will walk, he insists. Do you also dream of flying a plane? He is suddenly silent. No, staring at the ground. In his small murmur, there is an embarrassment that has not yet turned into regret. He is content to dream of cars that he sees hurtling down the streets of his town. Few aeroplanes fly over Firozabad. He is saying that I am not interested in flying a plane because there are few planes that fly over Firozabad. This is still an embarrassment. Embarrassment in the sense he is still feeling shy. That dream of becoming a motor mechanic is still an innocent dream. That is his biggest dream. So he just feels an embarrassment of not being able to fly a plane. He's just shy. But he has so much strong determination, so much strong belief in his own dream that his feeling shy is yet to become a regret. See, supposing children, if we ask you that would you like to be a winner at the international level, you might become a bit embarrassed if you are not feeling comfortable, and that embarrassment might soon become a regret because you are being pushed to your higher level every day, and day after day you are learning how to dare, how to dream big. So that kind of dream, becoming an international or winning at an international level, being internationally successful, might become a kind of dream for you, a big dream for you. But for Mukesh, what is the big dream? It is a small dream. To us, that is a big dream for him, becoming a motor mechanic. And that is the biggest dream his generation can dream of. That is the biggest dream. He doesn't dare, or he won't be able to dare beyond that. So he says that few aeroplanes or few airplanes flies over Firozabad. So this is the black scenario that is going on around around your world, around you people. This kind of scenario exists. It is not always a bright picture of childhood, bright picture of happiness every time, everywhere. But the author is very hopeful, and she is sharing optimism and determination. Optimism means positive thoughts and determination. Some of these brave children, like Mukesh, they are going to break the shackle, break the imprisonment of the same family tradition and come out and learn to dream big. So the author is asking us to support them and saying that let us fight against child labor. Let education reach each and every corner of India. Right? So we have to respect our studies, respect education, respect the blessing that we are blessed with good education. Our parents are able to provide us good education, right? That is all for today. Enjoy your learning. Bye.